Okay, now, good morning, welcome. It is like 6:30 in the morning, but I went to edit the video that I was going to do for this last night and found out that I was sat down here on the camera, and it's like, great, yeah, good going, Hannah. So, good morning. Yeah. We'll see how this goes, because I'm very tired. I haven't had coffee yet or anything, so we'll see. Okay, so I have decided, after absolutely nailing Middle-earthathon, that I would like to maybe try and keep the momentum going next month. So over the month of September, Becca of Becca and the Books does Bookopoly, which you will watch me get tongue-tied over if the other filming that I did for this is any thing to go off. But I've decided to give it a go. I haven't given it a go yet on the previous rounds that have happened, just because my reading has not been good for a few years now, to be honest. It's kind of been, I've had odd patches that were quite good, but then I go straight back into the slump. So I'm really hoping I keep the momentum of Middle-earthathon going. So I've already rolled my rolls because I did a top down again. So I think I'm just going to play that now, and then I'll talk through what I'm going to read for each of my rolls. So just to go over what I did for my rolls quickly, I stuck to the recommended that Becca had of 5 rolls, and then I got no doubles, so I just have the 5 prompts that are going to come out of it. So here's my rolls. Let's see if my transitions are any better this time. Probably not. Okay, so yeah, first up that I rolled was I landed on a pink, and I needed to read a book published or set since 2020. So I've decided to go with, I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking at my pile of books and nearly all of them are beefy. It's gonna be a challenge even with just 5, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I've picked up Babel. It's still in the plastic wrap for now. It's the Illumicrate version. But I have heard such good things. Everyone says I should love it. I've got way too many editions arriving because I've accidentally ordered too many. So I really hope that I love it. But I'm going to pick up that one for published since 2020. I'm not really sure what it's about because I like going in knowing as little as possible to a book. Sometimes that bites me, sometimes it's great, but I find I enjoy them more than if I've oh, I've got hair on my nose. I find I enjoy them more rather than if I've researched, got myself really hyped. I found I was being let down by books more often. So as little as possible is the way to go for me. So I think it's dark academia. At the very least, I'm pretty sure it's fantasy. So it sounds like great vibes for autumn at the very least of what I know. And to be fair, the book itself gives me great vibes for autumn. So it should be a winner in all hopefulness. The next square that I landed on was a community. And I pulled out a prompt that I'd written that was to read an Illumicrate book because I am terrible reading any of my book box books. So you might have seen this one in my Beyond the Sea TBR. I absolutely failed at that. Sorry, Celine, because there's only today left. And I've got almost all of my TBR left. So I'm going to try again and put A River Enchanted down. And I say try again, I didn't actually get around to reading it. This is just how bad my reading's been. So A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. It's such a beautiful cover, but it is quite chunky. I'm hoping, yeah, the font's quite big, so hopefully it's not going to be as chunky a TBR as it feels looking at the stack. But if I remember right, because there's two that were similar, I think this is the one where there's two children that have grown up on like a magical isle. And I think they were friends. There was one where they were rivals that I was going to read. And I'm not sure which round it is. But yeah, it's not overly autumny, but it's one that I've been putting off for a while. I think it's came in February's box. So hopefully I will get some of that backlist TBR down, because mine is out of control. The next square that I landed on was one of the red ones, and I had a random letter generator. So the letter that I generated was S. I have got a small book for this one, thankfully, and I've got Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna Maguire. Hannah of Ladder M gifted me this back for my birthday in February. And I took it on holiday with me, started reading it, was really enjoying it, and then didn't read a whole lot on holiday though, so I think I only got to like chapter 3. And then couldn't find it when we got back from holiday. So it went sort of on the back burner. Then it appeared a couple of months ago. Hopefully, I will actually finish it before losing it this time, because I was really enjoying it. So again, another sort of backlist TBR that I'm hoping to get out of the way. My next prompt was from the Yellows, and I needed to read a book that features death. So I have gone with Mischief Acts by Zoe Gilbert. Celine has been asking me about it recently. She's interested in buying it, and I just haven't read it yet. So I'm hoping I will be able to find a report whether it's worth buying or not. It's got a beautiful cover, and it's sort of based around like British folklore, and I believe centres around Herne the Hunter. So again, I don't like knowing much about the book, but considering it's around a hunter, there should be death. So I thought it was a strong contender for that prompt. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and that cover gives me all of the autumn vibes in itself. So whether the book does or not, at least the aesthetic does. Because to be honest, September, I don't think I mentioned it because I'm all over the place, because I've already filmed this in my mind, and I know I was a lot more coherent on the other one. But September 1st, like tomorrow, I'm just calling it, it's autumn. I don't care if it's not until like the 22nd or whatever, if you follow the other one. Is it the meteorological and the astrological? I don't know. But I think the meteorological one is the one where you do it by months, and autumn I prolong as much as I can. So I will start it off with 1st September, and then whenever it goes to winter will be on the astrological, so I get that little bit extra. But yeah, I love autumn. I love it so much. Okay, and then my final prompt after that little like segue was I landed on the spot winter. So I just needed to read a book that kind of gave you winter vibes sort of thing. Becca suggested maybe it's just got a white cover, or it's high fantasy, or it's just a big book. So I've decided to go with a book that I think I've TBR'd 3 or 4 times already. So I'm so glad I don't follow Hannah of Ladder M's rule of if she's put it on a TBR 3 times and still hasn't read it, it gets in haul. Because I'm so excited for this one. And I'm going to read Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne, which is a sequel to Shadow of the Gods, which I absolutely adored, as I keep saying, and still haven't read the book. I'm terrible at reading series. Like, so bad at reading series. Oh my gosh. One day, maybe that'll be like a goal for next year, will be to finish so many series, or like get caught up on so many series, because honestly, me and series, as much as I love them, we also don't get on, because it gets to a point where I've forgotten what happened in the other books, so then I have to reread them if I want to read them, and then it's the same cycle again. I've just read it, I don't want to read the sequel quite yet. But yeah, hopefully I will actually read this time, because yeah, ever since it came out, I've TBR'd it the whole time. Like, it's got to be done now, like, surely. So yeah, that is my TBR. I'd say only 5 books for me, didn't get any doubles, and I went with that. If I do manage to complete them ahead of time, I'm going to just go back to the board and like continue my roll from winter, and pick up a couple more books. I might just do that in a wrap up if I do end up doing that, because I think I'll do it one at a time rather than overload myself, because I don't want to put myself off reading after finally getting back into it. But yeah, I think that's everything for this video, because again, my mind is just not there yet. I'm not a morning person, as much as I keep doing these early morning videos. But the lack of coffee is, yeah, just mentioning it, I can feel like my mouth like salivating in a way, like I'm ready for it, I need it. So yeah, I'm gonna log off now after that probably horrible analogy. Well, not analogy, I don't know words either in the mornings, but yeah, I'm gonna just leave now before I just keep waffling absolute nonsense. So yeah, bye.